Hello everyone, welcome to another MSI weekly demo. This time a special edition devoted specifically to store pickup checkout UI. And Mateusz, who has been working with his team at Creative Style, has kindly agreed to demo their work over the past few weeks. So, Mateusz, please go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. Maybe let me share my screen directly. Uh, can I share the whole? Okay. I hope you can see I hope you can see Firefox with the test category
Yeah, we
right now.
can.
All right. Yeah. So as usual, yeah, this is basically a web shop that I have configured with Bare Magento with MSI installed and my store pickup branch that I am working on. Mm, yeah, when developing checkout UI. Yeah, as you already mentioned, we had to a little bit speed up our work on store pickup because we are basically reaching the deadline with one of our clients. So we moved our focus on this feature. I hope we will be able to finalize it soonish. Um, yeah, as you can see, I have already some products in my cart. I think this is only the one product that I have in the shop configured. I already added multiple sources. I think I have like around 50 sources assigned to this website and to this stock for this website. As you can see, this is something that I think I already shown you previously. What I've been able to achieve when it comes to checkout customizations. So we have this switcher at the top. Doesn't really change anything. What is new is that actually we have the in-store pickup delivery shipping method available at the bottom. This is something that you guys added, and Eugene, you've been kind enough to rebase my branch on top of it. So yeah, I already have this shipping method. For now, you have two options. You can either check this shipping method at the bottom, or you can choose the selector up top. I'm not sure if in the future you would like to actually um, show this in-store pickup delivery method at the bottom. This is something that we are going to discuss, I presume. Anyway, if we go to the pick in store shipping method, as you can see, I should be able to find a mockup somewhere. As you can see, it's quite similar to the mockup that we had for the shipping method. We have the store information and the map on the side. The only difference is that the map is missing, and it is missing because it requires to provide a Google API key, which basically I do not have an access to right now, but I already made a place for it so that any agency who is going to customize it is able to add additional component in here to display a map. They can also have an access to currently selected store. For now, the logic is that the currently selected store is the closest one, and it is using actually the API that you also guys provided. It is using the API from the store pickup, and it is finding the closest one to the shipping address that is already in the checkout. So if you are logged in, then this will be your default shipping address. If you are not logged in, then I'm guessing it's only the country that is configured as a default for the checkout itself. So it's going to pre-select the store that is nearest to you based on the conditions that I provided. In the future, what we would like to do in our company would be to also add a support for geolocation API that is in the browsers these days. maybe some kind of location provider is something that I would like to add in the future, so that people are able to configure it in a more flexible way. But yeah, this we'll see. If I'm not happy about the store, of course I'm able to change what is selected. Here I have also the nearest stores from my current location. As I said, if I would be logged in, then those would be the nearest stores to my default shipping address that I have. For now, as you can see, the search and the input is indeed a little bit broken. That's because I'm still working on it. This is still work in progress. But I am able to select a default shipping location. What's important to notice is that this is something that we already imported as a dummy data for one of our clients. We have many pickup locations, but none of them have telephone configured, and this is an issue if you have a telephone configured as required, because what we do in this step, or what I actually have to do, I need to copy the information of the shipping location to the shipping address. So if the phone field is required from the checkout configuration, and as some selected pickup location do not have phone configured, then we'll have a negative validation result from the backend API and from the front-end validation as well. So this is something that we also need to think about how we would like to resolve it in the future. The other thing that I would like you to notice is that there is already a logic that I provided which checks if the shipping address is actually the address of the pickup location, then it prevents you from checking the checkbox, my billing and shipping is the same. Here you are pretty much obliged to provide some custom billing address so that this is your actual address. So I can provide mine. Let's 123 test city. Let's go California 123, and the phone number, which is optional, but I provided anyway. Okay, I can update the shipping address, and hopefully the order will be placed properly. I hope so. Yeah, thank you for the purchase. And this is the point that I would like to thank you guys, because there were some adjustments that I requested, and you were pretty fast to do them, regarding acceptance of store code in the shipping address instead of the quote itself, because the frontend was not able to provide it in the quote itself. I was only able to provide it in the shipping address. So as you can see, I was able to make a purchase with store pickup, which is a great milestone in my eyes, I think. And to validate that, we can see in the database that I have the new order, which is made with the in-store pickup delivery, pick in store, shipping method. This is the entity ID of 10. And if I go to inventory, pickup location order, then I can see that my order with an ID of 10 has a pickup location code 101, which is actually the location code that I selected in the checkout. Yeah, so this is basically the status currently. For my plan for tomorrow actually is to make the pop-up that you saw searchable, so you are able to search for the nearest pickup locations other than yourself. So you can provide either a zip code or a city, and you'll be this is at least what API allows you for now, and I think this is the most flexible approach. And other than that, I think it's up to any future extensions. What I also need to focus on is to stabilizing the logic in the checkout, because there are many different scenarios that I need to take into account. For example, if someone previously already checked pickup location as the shipping method and they refresh the checkout, then they need to be redirected to the pickup location, and previously selected pickup location also has to be pre-selected. All of those corner cases which can happen in the checkout is still something that I need to take care of, to be honest. But other than that, I would say that being able to make an order and having all of this information saved is a pretty big achievement for me. And just to remind you, we are not overwriting, at least at the front end, we do not have to overwrite any Magento core files yet. All of this I was able to do only by customizing the configuration via XML and attaching to various observables that are available in the checkout. Everything other than that is just an added feature, so hopefully we will not have to request any core changes from Magento. That's it from my side. Do you have any questions right now?
Thank you, Mateusz. This is really exciting. It's even more than I expected to see, to be honest. I think the question I have now, you said about the map. You said that you have some kind of, I guess, tab for Google Maps. But is it like possible to include other type of maps? Maybe some people would like to use OpenStreetMap, or maybe just plain image or something, or it's just a Google Map in this implementation?
It's totally non-restricted. There is a region configured in the template that you are able to hook into via XML, so you do not need to overwrite any files. You are able to provide your own custom component in there. You are able to provide your own custom logic. As I said, through the service and the model in the checkout. Okay. As I said, through the model and the service in the checkout, you are able to determine which source location is currently selected and get all of the information from this source location, so latitude, longitude, name, etc. So you are able to actually render anything you'd like. What we actually plan to do is to render more than one location out of the box. We are planning to render 4 suggestions for you, so you do not have to open pop-up at all. We are not planning to display a map. That's the request from the client that we got. But yeah, just to short answer to your question, you are free to display anything you would like to. You have the access to the information which source is currently selected. So you can do anything you'd like with this information, and you do not need to overwrite any files to actually display a map in this very place that we have on the mockup.
Thank you. Yeah, that sounds really good. I just wanted to clarify that, like, if it's not hard-coded in any way. Actually, I think our requirements align pretty much, because we also, like, for the core implementation, we didn't expect to include any kind of map, just to not be biased towards any specific solution.
Yeah, exactly. I remember this is something that we discussed, that we do not want to have any vendor lockdown. I thought that maybe, since we are already using Google API for the geolocation, that maybe at some point, if somebody configures that in the admin panel, then we can reuse it. But it is totally, you are as a customizer, you are totally able to do what you want, and you have the access to, I think, all of the information that you may need.
Yeah, that's definitely the most important.
Yeah. The other thing that for now we are missing from the mockup that we have is the store hours. For now, they need to be configured as WYSIWYG field, I think, in the checkout. This is like the description, I think, of the source location. I believe I saw in the model a field for store hours, but I don't think it's already implemented in the API. So this is also something that we need to discuss in the future. For now, I would say, at least for us, it is enough that we have this description field that we can put store hours there.
Yeah, at some point we decided to shift to move that to the description field because for store hours there are pretty much challenges to solve for the MVP, like let's say for the localization purposes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So description field would be more flexible for any specific merchant to add any kind of information, including the store hours and the way they want it to see. So I think we'll
Yeah.
be sticking to this implementation at least.
Yeah, as I said, this is totally fine, at least for us. So good call.
Anyone else has any questions?
Thank you for the demo. It was really great. I have a question. As you said that when we are opening the tab about Picking Store, that it will pick the shipping address and will try to find the closest pickup location to the shipping address. And how will be the behavior when customer didn't enter any information about shipping address?
Yeah, so this is a good question. As I said, for now, the only shipping info this is the only shipping information that we have for not logged in user is actually the default country that is configured for the checkout, right? So what I am doing is I'm searching the closest. I'm only searching the closest pickup location to the address that I have. If it is only the country, that I'm leaving it up to the backend which pickup location is going to be to be selected. If nothing is going to be selected, then I think maybe you saw that briefly. There is an information that, hey, based on the information that we have, we were not able to pre-select any pickup information for you. Please select it manually. So there is actually the case that I am displaying here a short note that we are not able to pre-select any store for you. Please find it manually and select it manually. For the logged in users, it's a bit easier because we can have some shipping information already. There's still this case that we may not. But yeah, I'm trying to handle it as best as I can, and that's why I'm actually thinking about implementing some kind of configurable provider for shipping information of any user, so that we would be able to configure different providers with different priorities. And what I'm thinking about when I'm talking about providers is that we would have a provider that would give you the latitude and longitude if you have the geolocation enabled in your browser, or it would try to geolocate you through your IP address, and then it would go for a shipping address that is actually saved in your account. In this case, we would be able to minimize. We would still have it configurable, but at the same time, we would be able to provide the best information that we can. I mean, I do not see any other way for guest customers to actually be able to. Okay. Some noise again. I do not see any other way how we would be able to suggest the nearest store for guest users. maybe we do not want to. Maybe this is my false assumption. If it is, then please let me know. This is just a requirement that we got from one of our clients, that currently what they have in their store is that they are somehow suggesting the nearest locations. First of all, by IP, by the address that they already have saved in their address book. Secondly, by the IP address if they do not have the first one, and thirdly, if they allow geolocation, then we are using latitude and longitude from the geolocation. This is exactly why we were requesting this extension in the API, so we are able to provide latitude and longitude directly without providing the address to get the nearest locations.
Yeah, I think it's really valuable information, because previously we thought that it would be nice that if customer just came and first time open tab, that we will show the pickup location from a little bit other API, which just provide pickup locations which assign it for current website and sorted by order in from admin panel. It not depends. The order doesn't depend on the pickup location, or sorry, for physical address which customer looking for, but probably it's much better. Anyway, I think it's just a theme for separated meeting. And yeah, the other point I would like to notice is about telephone number, because yeah, for now we have a little bit interesting situation, because we thought when designing the API that the telephone number which will be sent with the information about selected pickup location, the telephone number will be the personal telephone number of the customer. And from the pickup location, we will only took the like city, country, region, and street. Probably, yeah, we can also discuss this separately, and probably it will be take a place like one extra field under the email address.
Yeah, the problem with that approach is that the shipping information is being set in the first step, and we could copy the information from the billing address, but it is already too late for the validation, because validation is happening when I'm clicking next in the first step. So either, yeah, the best way would be to add a telephone number at this step below the email address. I think this would be an easiest solution for now. Yeah. Yeah, as I said, for now we set the telephone. I just set the telephone number in the admin panel as optional, and it works as you saw. Otherwise, we get this error of missing telephone number from the shipping address validation.
Yeah, thank you. It's really great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. It's really really big milestone for the store pickup. And getting back to the subject of default displayed location, I'm pretty sure that each and every store will have it implemented in their own different way. So I think it's pretty fine that we already have like more than one solution to that. But still, I imagine somebody would go with maybe some map which displays all of the locations, because earlier, like, we had a demo where Rodrigo showed us his implementation of store pickup, like the one they did for the client, and he mentioned that they are working on a large store which would have multiple pickup locations in the same city and which can be really close to each other, and he was talking about that kind of implementation. So but I guess this is something outside of the scope of the MVP which we're looking to provide here. So the solution we have here is already great.
All right. Yeah, this is just a side note. We are also going to have a whole separate page, which would be the store locator page on the shop, where you would be able to see the entire map with all of the pins with stores, and you can select your preferred store for the user. This is something that I am going to also implement somehow in this checkout, not directly in the core, but this is something that we are going to do in the customization itself, also in the future. I'm not sure entirely for now how we are going to do it, because we haven't discussed it yet. But yeah, this is just as a side note. This is also what we are planning to do in terms of displaying some kind of map or something.
Thank you. Thank you again, Mateusz. Do we have any other questions, or should we wrap up for today? Yeah, I don't think we have too much people and discussed some items, so yeah, this is gonna be it for today. Actually, we have something in chat. Oh, on, I believe. Okay. Thank you very much for your time, guys, and thank you very much, Mateusz, for your work. Really nice, and I really hope you will be changing your pull request from draft to review ready, so that we can start testing and maybe participating in any other ways. And still, to get it like merged, we have to, I suppose, add some tests, maybe functional tests, some things. So there are some procedures to that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we can discuss that offline. So yeah, thank you guys. See you next week or another week. We'll see when we have the next demo.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.